run Slug magazine for over a decade, since September of 2000. Since then, she's taken this small black and white zine and turned it into a full-color electrobyte magazine with a strong regional presence. She brought coverage back to Utah's deserving local music scene, Utah's action sports community, and continues to give exposure to prominent underground national bands. She's pioneered local band compilations and has branded numerous successful events. Her local monthly music festival showcasing 3 bands, the Slug Games ski and snowboarding series and the Summer of Death skateboarding series. She launched and perfected slugmag.com, where you can find out about great events such as Pecha Night, or, you know, all things cool and hip and awesome. So check out slugmag.com. Let's see, she's done a lot, so I'm gonna keep things here. In 2009, she launched Craft Lake City, an alternative art and crafts festival, showcasing do-it-yourself handmade goods, and that's held at the Galvin Center annually. In 2010, Craft Lake City officially became its own entity. She is now at the helm of 2 businesses. She's a busy person, so thank you for showing up tonight. And we'll call it good at that. Here's Angela Brown.
Thank you so much, Tristan. And before we start, I just want to give a shout out to the stateroom and to all the Pecha presenters and to our hosts, the Pecha crew who put this together. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you so much. What a quality event. I'm so happy to be part of this event tonight.
Thank you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So this is my story of Salt Lake City and why I decided to stay. I had so many opportunities to leave this joint and to bail, and I wanted to do it so bad when I was a kid. But I decided to stay and make this city the city that I wanted to move to take the things about New York City, San Francisco, Europe, you know, places I've read about or even been firsthand, and make it my own. Now, this is where I grew up. This is the house where my parents designed and built while my mom was pregnant with me back in the 70s. And this is the last year that it was in our family in 2004, and I wanted to show this Immigration Canyon, a beautiful, beautiful place, and historical to my lineage, being of Mormon stock. This is me, the little girl holding the camera. Photography is one of my first passions and is what has led me to the path of where I am today. Even when I was 3 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a photographer and capture images and show the world my vision. And this is me with 2 of my other siblings. I distinctly remember, this is one of my first memories I remember at this photo shoot. Right here is my baptism certificate, something that I'm very proud of, although I do not consider myself LDS today. It runs through my veins, it's part of who I am, it's part of my family history. I come from polygamy stock on both sides of the family, and I'm very proud of that. And then all of a sudden, Slug magazine. I started reading it when I was 12 years old. Back that house that you saw a photograph of, we used to call it the hotel growing up because my father was a psychologist and would take in family members that were displaced and things like that. And I had a cousin that was a rebel and was going to Westminster College, and he brought home a Slug magazine, and I was 12 or 13, and that was me. 14 years old. A rebel, and I had to go to 3 different chairs at the Haircuts Plus to get them to shave half my head. The first 3 barbers wouldn't do it. Just 14 years old, growing up in Immigration Canyon, I was isolated. I was 3.5 miles away from a bus stop. This is me in high school and college. Dyed my hair purple as soon as I turned 18. Sorry, Mom and Dad, this is what I want to do. And this represents me traveling with my friends and the exit of my friends. This is taken by Tyler Gorley, who's a very successful photographer now, owns a restaurant in San Francisco, huge commercial photographer. This right here is one of my favorite places, the Zephyr Club, taken with the fake ID. I turned into a photojournalist and developed a couple of my passions, photography and music. And I wasn't going to bars to drink, I was going to photograph the music that I loved and local music. And These are two women that really influenced me in my early years and helped me realize I could follow my dreams. There's me working in music retail at two of my favorite record stores on the 9th block back in the 90s. Maybe I sold some records to you. Some of you might remember me as the girl with the purple hair that ordered in your Depeche Mode CD. So I worked at Modified. Everybody in this picture, except for Suri Whipple, who's the artist wearing the Hawaiian shirt, everyone has moved. Everyone left Salt Lake, and I was really sad to lose those friends. This is my entrance into Slug magazine. I was hired through Salt City CDs, the record store I worked at on the 9th block, to shoot this cover, this very controversial cover that was banned from a lot of places here in Salt Lake. As you can kind of see why. But it led me into some commercial endeavors. I did the ad campaign for Koi. One of the reasons why I loved working for Slug was because I got to shoot my heroes, my musical icons that I grew up listening to. Here's just some examples of some of the early work I did, which, by the way, all of these images are shot on film. This is pre-digital, or maybe even post-digital work, but I have a love for film and the idea of just not being able to see it right away. I love to write. I love to journal. I worked for a couple different record companies in the record industry. This was my ticket out of town. I had an opportunity to move to San Francisco and become what was an artist development representative and to get the hell out of Salt Lake. But I decided to stay. I decided that I wanted to invest in Salt Lake instead of abandon Salt Lake. And so I took over Slug magazine. This is a shot from a mural from my first office back in the Sugar Hood, as we called it. We had an office on 2225 South, 500 East, back in 2000, and Joan Beam painted this mural in 48 hours, and that's me holding a weird animal. These are all inspirations from his dreams. So kind of back to why I decided to stay in Salt Lake and invest in it. I want to turn it into the city that I wanted to live in. I wanted to go to parties that were hosted by drag queens, that had old washed up metalheads like Kevin from the Heavy Metal Shop, being an MC or being a judge for a contest. I wanted to see local bands perform at outdoor venues for charity, which was an event that we did called Sabathon. This was an ad campaign that we did for local bands at the South by Southwest Austin Music Festival. We released a three CD compilation. And fuck the scene and fuck you too for believing the only good thing that could possibly come out of Utah is the used. It was right when the used had just become signed. No one had ever heard of them. They were a conceived band pretty much by the record industry. This is a sampling of all of the 4 local band compilations we've put out over the past 10 years. The first one's the 3 CD box set that we marketed in Austin. The second one is a 2nd box set. This is a vinyl record that was designed by Paul Butterfield, and I just love the iconography here and just what it means to us. Here was back to my Mormon pioneer roots, genealogy, archiving. This is a DVD that we put out about the roots of the Salt Lake City music scene and the underground. Slug magazine, it's an acronym for Salt Lake Underground, which now has been part of my life longer than anything else since I'm in my 30s. Here was a tour that we did where we took local bands and took them outside of Salt Lake City so that the world could see what awesome music we have. Snowboarding and skiing has been a big part of my life, so we started an amateur contest series a while ago because no one else was doing it. Since then, quite a few other companies have come into the market, which is fantastic. This is a shot from one we did last year at Park City Mountain Resort. A lot of the pros that have entered our or a lot of the amateurs that have entered our contest have turned out to be pros, like Stevie Bell, Bodie Miller, and some other people. Here's just some of the brands that we're working on right now at the magazine, and it's kind of fun because we've really worked on diversifying ourselves, being print media, and just encompassing and embracing digital technology. Craft Lake City, oh, and right here, I really want to tell a story about when I was working on the 9th block that I heard from a barista. And one day we were just talking at the coffee garden about why is Salt Lake City so cool. And he said, well, you know, I've got this theory. We've got the largest open copper pit. We've got a Dead Sea. What are 2 components of a battery? Salt and copper.
Thank you, everybody. Stick around. AY Outfit will play some more music for us. get a drink, find some presenters, chat with them for a while. If you need to contact us, we're always looking for presenters, we're always looking for venues, sponsors. Stick around, have fun till the statement kicks us out.